Hey, hi guys. I'm Sabrina and this is Marie. And we have Benjamin Bloom for our series. And we are going to talk about what he did. Benjamin Bloom was an educational psychologist and he developed, he focused on the different domains of learning. Some of the domains were cognitive, psychomotor, and affective, and he focused on the cognitive. And from that, he created Bloom's Taxonomy in 1956. And when he started it, it started off as knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So there's 6 levels to Bloom's taxonomy. And in the 1990s, one of his students, Lauren Anderson, she revised Bloom's taxonomy to focus more on the process of completing these different levels. So there's still 6 levels, but she renamed them, and they are now remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating.
So the first one we're going to talk about is remembering or knowledge. And for this, students should know how to define and label, listen, and put all that knowledge into use by remembering it so that they can do the next level. As you cannot go to the next level without no one remembering. You have to build on the levels so that way you can't move up.
And this is a video that kind of illustrates what the first level is about. Can you hear it?
What color is that? Orange, good job. What's that? Pink, good job. What color is that? Good job, Zaid. What color is that? Good job, Zaid. Yellow. Red. Uh-oh, where's the red ball? Good job, yay! Thumbs up? You gotta put your thumbs up. Good job. Goodbye. Green, red, yellow, blue, orange, pink,
This is another video to illustrate that level as well.
It is when cat or dog or kind of animal doesn't have someone to rely on. Who else has an idea? Yes. Each one doesn't likes to go like their family or the cat likes to okay. Because of the moral difference. Yes. Yes.
I know it's kind of hard to hear, but what they're doing, she asked, they were going over their vocabulary words, and she was asking the meaning of certain words. So that was showing their ability to be able to define, basically, define their vocabulary words. In that first video also, it was showing how he was able to match up the different colors, and he was able to identify the colors as well. The next level of Bloom's taxonomy is comprehension and understanding, and it's students at this level should be able to match, give examples, explain, defend, illustrate, and they should be able to use different things in their daily life and be able to use examples. Like if a teacher came up to them and gave them an example of something that they were doing in school, they should be able to relate it to maybe something at home and make those connections to show that they understand what they're learning or understand the information that they are given. They also should be able to summarize different things, because when you understand, if you can't summarize it, then you may not have quite a good understanding of what you were learning. So if they can summarize the lesson that they learned or something at home or a book that they read, then it shows that they actually understand it. They also should be able to make predictions. When you understand a concept and you get the pattern of a concept, then you can probably make further predictions about maybe what's going to happen next. So basically that video was just trying to illustrate the process of making predictions and how you build off of what you maybe already know and connecting it to what you see to make a prediction about something that may happen.
So the next level is application or applying these concepts that you learn in the classroom, either in the classroom or outside of the classroom in your everyday life. One example would be if a child goes with their mom to the grocery store and their mom says their mom tells them how much the groceries cost, and they say, "Can you pick out the change that we need?" Like they say it's like $5.50. They can pick out the 50 cents because they're applying what they learned in the classroom to outside, and that way they would know how to do that and be able to better understand and be able to apply all of it when it comes to doing that. So they would be able to apply it in different circumstances when it comes to, in general, just being able to go to the next level to be able
Okay, and the next level of Bloom's taxonomy is analysis and analyzing. As you can see, we put both terms so you can see what the old term was and what the revised term is on each level. That's why it's like that. But in this level, students should be able to compare, categorize. They should be able to tell the difference between different things. They should be able to differentiate the information that is given to them and identify different methods that are used. If I do 1 + 2 = 3, they should be able to say, oh, you added those together. They should be able to know that I used the addition process to get my product. Or they should be able to bring two things together and compare them. If something is bigger than something else, they should be able to tell why, or even be able to just tell the difference in something, whether it be shapes, whether it be colors, or anything for that matter. So some questions, guiding questions that teachers should think about is, can they compare and contrast? Can they identify different methods, laws, or rules? Can they differentiate the information that is given to them? If they can, then they can move on to the next level. And if they can't, then at least the teacher knows where they are and they know what they're struggling with, and they can kind of use different methods to try to help them accomplish this level so they can move on to the next level.
Hi learners, I have a problem that I need to solve and I need your help. Elliot is my partner for the science fair. For our project, we had to collect a bunch of leaves. I collected 235 leaves and Elliot collected 253 leaves. Wow, we have so many, but we wanted to figure out who collected more. When we compare numbers, do we start on the right or on the left? If you said on the left, you are correct. The farthest number on the left is always the biggest. But what place value is it here? Let's see. Here are the ones. Here are the tens. And here are the hundreds. The biggest place value we have is the hundreds. Now let's compare our hundreds. Both Elliot and I have a 2 in the hundreds place. So we need to check the tens place. In the tens place, I have a 3 and Elliot has a 5. Well, 3 is definitely less than 5. So now I know that Elliot collected more leaves than me. Great job, Elliot. So which symbol goes in between these two numbers? Greater than, less than, or equal to? Remember, the alligator always wants the biggest meal. If you said less than, you're right. The alligator wants to eat Elliot's number because then he gets the bigger meal. Thanks for your help, you guys. Can we try another problem?
So basically that video, they were just comparing numbers, showing what students should be able to do at that level. Something like that was just an example of maybe a math problem that a student may have. And they have to tell, the numbers look alike, but they're actually different. So they have to figure out a system of how to compare those numbers to tell which one was greater and which one was less.
Next level is synthesis or creating. And in this level, students should know how to role play or develop a design, organize, construct, tell stories. And they'll put all of this into use. They can deliver a speech. They'll be able to just do more things to combine the stuff and create more, to use their imagination more to get what they can get to.
Yeah, basically they should be able to understand something so well that they can tell someone else about it. They can put different pieces of information together to compile, like she said, an essay or a speech or a story that they can tell someone else. Because if you can't tell someone else about something that you've learned, then you must not know it that well. So when they know it enough that they can share it with someone else and they can tell a story about it or something like that, then you know that they've completed this level. This video is the cutest video ever.
I'll tell a story about you, okay?
Okay.
Once upon a time there was a daddy named John.
Okay.
you're with Randy. Once upon a time, Uncle John and Uncle Randy were little. John and Randy were 5. They were 10. No, just 3. They ride their bikes. One day, Randy and John were driving full, and they were driving a car. They were coming home from high school. At school with you. They might cry that he did have good friends, or he didn't have any Barbie toys. That is really funny story. They got to a stoplight, and the guy yelled, don't do that. It's green. Randy said nothing. And John turned around and said, are those my friends? It wasn't his friends, it was some crazy guy. Hey, we are those. Go, boys. I'm gonna come out and punch your car so you'll go. John punched our car. And he said, I'm going to punch your car. He opened the bottle of something and hit the car. Hey, you weirdos! I'm gonna steal your birthday stuff. And then we wiped it off with a And then he came home and he said, hey John, wait a minute. John said, hey Randy, wait a minute. Then he went to the pump. Then he went to the door. And then he went to the yeah. And then he's like, hey, you know this? The guy remembered and John and he tried to punch him. But he blocked the punch and he grabbed him and threw him in the ground. And he was so good. And then the pain went down. He put his shirt down, and then he took back. And then he ran around. Yeah. And John pushed him in the ground and made him have a headlock. John pushed him in the ground and put him in a headlock. The guy on the ground started saying, and then Solomon put his head up, and then Randy said, if you do any more of this, you're going to have to stick in the toilet for 2 days. And the guy said, okay, I'll stop. And then John said, stop what? They let him go, and the guy said, you guys jumped me. And then he said, I know where you live. And then Randy said, we know your license plate number. and they made it sparkly. And then they went home and then they I forgot to say that.
So that was, I let you watch the whole thing because I thought that was a cutest video. But basically the kids were able to, they all had their different perspectives on what happened, and they were able to tell a story about it from their different perspectives, and they were creative with it, and it just showed that, they illustrated that level. Basically the revised version of Bloom's taxonomy, create would have been last, and evaluation would have been before create. But we kind of put this in the order with the original version of Bloom's taxonomy, just so you know. So that's how it is now, the revised. So creating would be last, not before evaluating. So I talk about evaluation or evaluating. In this level, students should be able to justify, they should be able to review and critique, they should be able to tell if something is right or wrong, or if something was done, the way something was done, if it was done the wrong way. If I put on the board 2 minus 1 is 0, they should be able to tell me, oh, that's wrong, and they tell me why it's wrong and give me the right answer, basically. They should be able to justify why something was done or why something wasn't done, to show their understanding also of what they have learned. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for the 6 levels. So the 6 levels are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. And this video is just a review of kind of some of the information because we're going to have an assessment on it. So, thank you. That's Benjamin Bloom, by the way. Pictures of the apples are there, so it's supposed to say you know that that's an apple. And like I said, when it was revised in the 1990s, it was to show a process, like as far as like knowledge, the first one, and it changed to remembering because it's a process of learning, not that you just know it. There's a process of learning and analyzing and applying to show the process of that, and they all build off of each other. So if a student does not complete the first level, they can't go on to the next level. They will stay at that level, and the teacher will work with them until they can complete that level and go on to the next one. And it's not only just with like things that you learn in school, but as you can see, the kids telling the story, that was something that was happening at home. So it goes with their everyday life and things that they learn not just in school. So that is our preview. And for our assessment, if you guys could please take out a sheet of paper and can you split it into 6 pieces? We're going to do the game question part today. And we're going to write R for remembering, U for understanding, A for applying. I guess we can write A and for analyzing. E for evaluating, and C for creating. And we're going to give you some scenarios and you tell us what the level it applies to. So. Yeah. Right, R for remembering, U for understanding, A for applying, AN for analyzing, E for evaluating, and C for creating.
No.
Make sure you make it dark so you can see it, so you got the light.
Just look up when you're ready.
Cool. Ready?
Okay. The first one is students must be able to tell a story.
Okay, majority of you guys got it right. It is C for creating. That is where they should be able to put things together, take these bits of pieces of information, put them together, and tell a story, write an essay, or do a speech, and tell somebody else what you work.
Students must be able to define words.
What'd you say at the end?
Define words. Students must be able to define words. It is remembering.
I can understand why you would put U for understanding, because they're defining, but
But define is kind of like remember. You gotta be able to say it.
true. But for understanding, though, it's putting it kind of like into action, kind of like giving examples to show your, the depth of understanding, where it's not just defining it, because you can define something, but you can't give me an example.
Like in that video when the teacher was saying, what is this word, and the kids had to define it, they had to remember it first.
Yeah.
Or even if they had to put in their own words. So just to be able to
Right.
recall a definition is remembering, but to then change and put in your own on your own words.
It's understanding.
Correct.
Right.
Students must be able to make predictions.
a mixture.
That one is, that one is understanding.
Remember, they understand the information well enough, they build on what they've learned from that information to make a prediction about something that may happen next. So it's showing that understanding.
Students must be able to use methods or rules that are learned.
Say it again.
Students must be able to use methods or rules that are learned.
Got a mixture here.
Applying.
It is
Yes.
applying.
Students must be able to critique.
Students must be able to critique. That you want.
We have another mixture. That one is evaluation. Remember?
They must be able to go over the information and tell if it's right or wrong, or tell, evaluate how it's done. To be able to critique the information.
Students will be able to match.
Students must be able to match. Oh, bummer.
No.
Nobody got that right.
That one is
It's
remembering.
remembering.
Remember the video with the boy matching her?
Oh,
Matching the colors, the colors.
But analysis is relationships between the two. It says in analysis, be able to identify relationships.
Yeah, you're comparing the information to see, like, you're not matching. You're comparing the information to see, like when they, in the video, when they compared the numbers to see which number was different, which number was greater than the other number. It's different than saying, what's kind of similar actually, but it's
They all
different.
build
I don't know how to
upon each
explain
other.
it.
And they all build upon each other, but it is it's a higher order thinking to say, I see red, let me identify. Now that I know red, let me remember, okay,
It gets more
Marie has a
complex.
red, this has a red. First is saying, let me compare the differences between, what you call that, Granny Smith apples and delicious red apples.
Right.
The acidity, the tartness, I'm just saying some random words. But versus saying, I can match that this is a red with the other red, this is green with the other green. So the skill is more complex.
Yeah.
And the next one is students must be able to compare.
And there you go.
Yay, everybody got that right.
And what we just on.
Analyzing.
Students must be able to explain.
Students
Majority of everybody got it right. It's understanding.
Students must be able to differentiate information.
Differentiate.
Okay,
Majority of everybody got it.
yeah.
It's
That one's,
analyzing.
and then the last one is students must be able to justify. Yes, that is evaluation.
And this is our presentation.
job, good job. I appreciate you guys. We have a lot we're going to talk about in a second, but will you join me in giving everyone a hand? I appreciate all. Thank you, our Bloom's Taxonomy group. Hopefully you guys took some good notes on Bloom's, and hopefully you